Welcome to the Love Your Brand podcast. If you're looking for real conversations with real people, you're in the right place. Let's go!
You know, I always reference marketing like fishing. Marketing and fishing are very similar. I don't know if anybody out there knows how to fish. I do not do it really well, but I at least position myself. I go with somebody who knows what they're doing. But fishing requires knowledge, patience, and working smart. Marketing is the exact same thing. It requires knowledge, patience, and working smart, because so often we want immediate results. We're in such a society today to where we want instant gratification. I can get it right now. But marketing is all about testing. Marketing is all about the long play. It's not doing something right now and getting those results. And so with fishing, you want to position yourself with somebody who knows where the fish are. You know, that goes into advertising. You wouldn't throw advertising dollars into spots where your audience is not. It's the same thing with fishing. And it requires the right lure. You know, which lure do you put on to attract the kind of fish that you want to get? Same thing with marketing. How can you know what to use unless you know where your fish are swimming, where your market is? And so if you approach it from that perspective, that's how you're going to get results. But it's also a mindset to know it's going to take time, money, energy, and effort. So position yourself with somebody that has a proven track record to do that.
So you've got to remember with a podcast too, you're speaking to somebody, you want to engage that person, so you always want to keep staring at the camera because you're talking to that person right there.
I'm looking at you, kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, Simon, you know, so many people, they come in, let's take social media as an example. There's platforms that are growing every single day. So there are platforms that are coming out and everybody thinks I need to be on every one of these platforms, when that is a complete farce. There's no truth to that, because you need to be on the platforms where your audience is. And so typically a client will come to us and they'll say, or a prospect, and they'll say, hey, I want a website, or I need this, or I need that. And so we hear them out and we understand, okay, what are your goals? And so when we ask them some of these probing questions and they tell us, these are my goals, it gives us a better plan to figure out, this is the roadmap to reach your goals. So a lot of time we reverse engineer that process and we come backwards and we say, hey, to reach your goals, which you clearly identified what you want to do, we're going to put a plan in place to get you there. And sometimes it's online visibility to where they're not showing up, they're not ranking high, on the Google search. We all know this. If you're on page 2, you're lost. Even if you're number 10 on page 1, you're lost. You got to rank up high. So online visibility might be the strategy. Sometimes people never leverage email. They think email is something that's antiquated from the 90s that doesn't work anymore, when in fact email is the number one conversion method, which has a 4,200% ROI. That means for every $1 that's spent on email, $42 is made. Do the math. You increase that, you have an exponential opportunity for revenue with that. And so when we tie in email and social media as an example, social media is such a great way to get leads. Everybody's on there and they only come to social media for two things: to be educated or to be entertained. And a lot of times you can do both those in the same capacity with a lot of video, because video is the most engaging piece of content today. And so if you leverage that properly with using social media as a way to generate leads, to create the buzz, to give out value, then you acquire their email address or contact info. You can hit them with an email campaign and you can start to get conversions there. You turn them into a customer. And so there's a full comprehensive approach to marketing, but it all starts with figuring out what are your goals, then let us put a plan to get there. And only from there can we create something that's sustainable. It's going to allow you to reach your goals.
We get this with every client, because it doesn't matter what you do, any of your marketing efforts, you need to be able to measure, because unless you know what's being successful, you can adapt to the market, change your strategy, and really work out what works better for your company. So, everything from making sure you capture leads and put them into a system like a CRM where you can constantly track all your communications, see what people like, what they react to, and then, text messaging through the same platforms. And tying everything into Google Analytics for your online presence, your Google My Business listing, so you can see how people interact with your maps and locations if you have physical stores. There's so many ways to measure, but measuring what you do is key to adapting any strategy and making sure you're successful.
That's really good. I think so many people also, so many companies and businesses, they don't have the resources internally. They don't have the team members to actually do all this stuff. And so team members are trying to go online and Google this stuff and figure out what are the analytics I need to measure? What are things I need to do? And it's so valuable how you spend your dollar. We were just talking about this yesterday. Every dollar that we spend in a business is either an expense or an investment. And so there's proper investments, to utilize, and to where hiring somebody, there's so many resources out there that are able to give you this data analytics. Just hire a team. So somebody is running the marketing, somebody's giving you weekly data on the analytics, because without knowing that data, you're going to waste money. Because let's say we run 5 different PPC campaigns as an example. You want to watch over the course of a couple weeks which ones are performing well, which keywords are really popping, which ones are creating the most engagement. Then you can kind of turn the faucet off on some of those ads that are not converting well and not creating a lot of engagement, and turn on the faucet for the ones that are. And so if you're not checking this stuff, that's the best way to waste your money in marketing.
And that's applicable to any size company.
Bingo.
And any size agency that's working for you. Even if you have one guy in a garage that's doing your work, you still need to measure. You need to know what's been successful. You want to know what that ROI is for your investment.
That's absolutely right. I ask people this often. I say, if I asked you to spend $1 million on marketing, would you do it? People give me a resounding heck no. I say, if I could get you to spend $1 million on advertising, if you could make $2 million off that, would you do it? They say, absolutely. Because we have this number set in our head for spend. And it's like, hey, I'm not going to spend that much. My budget is not this much. But again, we can't focus on that number. It always goes back to your goals. And so if you understand, this is what I need, because I work with a lot of dental labs and dentists. And so dental labs pick up dentist clients, and they say, I want to pick up so many dentists. But realistically, with all of our business, there's only so much additional work we can take at a time before we actually have to grow the team to manage them well. And so it may be, I just need one more client per month. And to know from a client's perspective, this could change their life greatly. Kids that, they're struggling with, they don't have much, they don't have money for school, they don't have money for these things, and how one additional client can change their mind. And so we don't have to have these huge goals, but every client is individual. Every client is specific to what their needs are. And so that's why we love putting a customized plan in place, because company A down the street is going to be different from company B and company C in what they need and what they desire. And so you have to have a customized plan, and that all starts with knowing that data, knowing those analytics, so you can figure out what's going to reach those goals for you.
And we work as a partnership. We come in with those companies and we help you really understand what the benefits are to you, what the ROI is for the marketing efforts that we're doing.
Yeah.
You don't just want to hire somebody and say, go away and do this for me, and have no clue what they're doing. So we work in partnership. We're not just an agency that you hire to go and do stuff. We really work with you and help you turn your business around and really get the best out of your investment.
Simon, when you speak, I always get kind of caught up in like dreamland with your accent. Is that South Carolina?
Yeah. Well, it's a little bit further out, but
A little further out?
Yeah, a little east, a few thousand miles.
Okay, the sticks of South Carolina?
Yeah.
Sorry, don't mean to distract, but I just get taken away with the way you speak.
Over the pond in England, I know. I get a lot of that. It's kind of erotic, isn't it?
It's something.
Now I'm sure we'll have other agencies. Listening in, small entrepreneurs, little one-man shops or whatnot, and they always will come across this. And also the client. So I'm looking at it through 2 aspects. Talk about from a small business point of view, how to combat companies when they want to cut their marketing budget. Yeah, talk about that. That's an interesting subject. I think we always ran across. I was talking to another friend of mine who owns a business, and he was asking me, he was like, dude, why are they wanting to cut their marketing budget? It's like killing it. Like, and they need the business. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's crazy. We get that so often. People, the first thing they do when things start getting tough is cut down on marketing.
Yeah, so
and
true.
it's probably the last thing they should be cutting on, because you still got to get that business and get out to your customers.
The interesting thing, like, what do we do today when our internet goes out? We're sitting at our desk, and then the internet goes out, and it's like the world has ended. Can't get onto our computer, can't get onto our phone, can't work. But yet there was a time, I know our kids don't understand it, but there was a time when internet did not exist, right? And so I always kind of go back to what were we doing before the internet? And we're in a digital age now to where AI, pretty soon you're not going to be seeing, Simon, you and I sitting here, we're going to be AI avatars that you can't tell. And so, but amidst that, they're starting to take the personal element out, the human element out of marketing. And to where marketing is just like dating, to where, relationships, when I met my wife or when I asked her to marry me, I couldn't have asked her to marry me on the first date. I had to get her to know me first, know my values. Then I had to get her to like me. And then from liking me, I had to get her to trust me. And it was only after she trusted me that I could ask for the commitment, ask her to marry me. And, our clients, our prospects are the same way. We have to build relationships first. And so if a company has a small budget, what are ways that you can do that, that are very affordable or free? Look at email, look at social media, look at platforms like this to where there's no cost to enter. And the way I leverage social media is pretty much the opposite way that most people do it. Most people think I need to go on social media and post X number of content per day or per week. It's exhausting. They go in and they see no return on it. But I leverage social media kind of as a tool to stalk people. And, when I say that, people always look at me like, stalk them? But you get on there and, think of Facebook and Instagram. We can go on, click on somebody's profile, and people put their interests, they put their likes, they put everything about their kids, they put things that matter to them, they put what kind of coffee they like to drink. Like, there is so much information right there readily available. And so if you get that information and that's a potential client that you want to pick up, you have so much information to get your foot in the door as you talk to them, because you can speak the language that matters to them. And so if I'm a small business with a small marketing budget, I would figure out who are the 5 to 10 top people that I want to get their business from. I would do research on them. And then I would start doing these, ground level guerrilla marketing type techniques of calling them, of showing up at their door, if they're a local business that I can get to, of reaching out to them on social media, DMs, email, all that stuff barely cost a penny. And you can get so much information before you even move forward and talk to them.
It's interesting as well. You said AI before. Think what that's going to be like in 2 years' time.
Man.
We analyze that data now. We try and research and find out who's our customers. You'll just type in, hey, who's my customers, and go and target them, and AI is going to take over.
You're right.
I mean, we're talking right now. You said maybe AI avatars, but it won't even be voice. You just type the script, and that's already there now. You type the script. You've got the actors that are actually talking from the script. You don't say a word.
You're right.
It's crazy,
Simon,
crazy scary.
I was watching a video, not to get sidetracked on this, but we talk about AI. And this morning there's an account I follow that teaches all the latest with AI. And now he created a software to where you can create any AI generated avatar into your DMs. And the example they used this morning was Jesus. And so they said, I want to ask Jesus a question. Jesus became an avatar in their DMs inside of Instagram. He said, and they asked Jesus a question, and this is AI generated, so the response from Jesus gave all these questions. And so people are creating fake conversations, with AI, and it's just wild, the capabilities of what we have and what we can do with AI. I mean, we're just on the tip of the iceberg there. And typically, to kind of bring it back what we're talking about, companies come our way and they see the cutting edge, they see the trends that are happening. AI is here, so I need to use AI for my marketing, and I need to use this for my marketing. And we always have to kind of rein them in. Hold on, where do you want to go? What do you need? Maybe we leverage AI here, maybe we don't leverage AI here. And that's why, we kind of, when we talk to a prospect or somebody comes our way, let's chat with them first, see what they need, and then we can put a plan to get there.
AI, it really does scare me. I think. Do you think sooner or later this is going to reach a pinnacle? Because that example you just gave, people are very gullible.
Yeah.
Those instructions from that Jesus avatar, people could just take it to heart.
Right.
And that could be anybody behind the avatar. There could be anyone controlling it. It could be telling them to go.
It's true.
Do anything. I don't know. It scares me, and I think sooner or later we might reach a pinnacle that says this stuff's just got to go because it's just too much. Or
can't cut it off now.
Terminator, we just end up
Skynet.
I would say it's up to us to educate clients, partners, and it's obviously when they start cutting their marketing budget, they don't see value in it.
Yeah.
It's not a valuable resource. They look at maybe their hard materials that they're buying, from freaking paper towels to just physical things. They pay their electric bill, they pay all their utilities, they pay their people, but they don't look at marketing as an investment long term. Society now is so short term based. They want instant gratification, right? They do marketing for 6 months, they don't yield results, They want to cut back. They want to change. They want to try something new. They want to find the next shiny object, the next best thing. So I think that's a real issue, and I think it's up to us to either, educate them well to where they really understand the value that they're getting. And this goes for other agencies and other business owners. It's value-based, once again. If it's price-based, if they're looking at you as a commodity and they're paying you, X amount of dollars per hour or X amount of dollars per this, and there's other people doing the same thing for that same price or cheaper, then you're going to be put in a commodity space. So really dig in, find their pain points, and bring value to their business while educating them, I think is the key takeaway. At least that's what I see. If they get it, if they understand the value, they understand that it takes 8 to 10 touch points. A social media post, an email nurture, a PPC campaign.
That's right.
Go out and get some FaceTime with people, traditional PR, digital marketing. It's all a holistic plan that you just don't turn on and turn off with a light switch. That's what tickles me over the years. Large companies to just small companies, I expected more, but even large companies, it's like a faucet. They think they can just turn off and turn on. But you better watch out. You turn it off for a little while, you've got several other companies right on your heels ready to take that traffic and take your market share.
Any of those strategies that we put in place to do with visibility, such as PPC, SEO, anything that gets you visible out to your customers, that all takes time. Again, you talk about the instant gratification, but SEO especially, everybody's doing it. The second you stop doing it, you're going to lose those rankings, you're going to lose that visibility, and you're going to lose those customers because your competitors are coming up and they're doing exactly the same thing. They're targeting you as well. They're targeting your name. So it's a cutthroat market. There's so many strategies in place and there's so many tools now that everybody's doing that there's a lot of strategy involved to make sure it works right for every business.
People come our way as they need a guide. They need somebody to tell them exactly what to do. And so often with our marketing, we talk about ourselves. And we go out, hey, look what I have to offer. Look at the products that I have. Look at all the features and the benefits of this product, kind of a thing. That turns everybody off because we're created as, we're selfish individuals to where it's like, what's in it for me? And in business, if we're B2B business, we all have something we're struggling with. We all have a problem that we have that we need help with. And, to serve our customers well, we need to come in and recognize, hey, this is your story. You're the hero of the story. And here's how we can come alongside of you and support you. Jason brings up a point about price, which is super important because so many of these people, again, I worked in the dental space for so long, and a dental lab, for an example, will charge a doctor X dollars, $100 for a crown. The doctor goes and turns that around for $1,000 or $1,500. So there's a high profit margin there. And the dentist will in turn potentially leave that dental lab for another one that's $5 less. $5 less when they have a massive profit that they make on that. And the labs start seeing that mentality and they're like, well, shoot, I'm gonna lose business here. And keep going. Yeah, sorry guys, this is a mobile podcast. You see stuff outside, sometimes it distracts a little bit. So we're gonna close the blinds next time. But with that, customers, they'll be like, well, I just need to lower my price. And then the worst thing to do for your business is to make price one of your unique selling propositions. Like, we're going to be the cheapest. We're going to be the most affordable, because you're going to get abused and beat up if you position yourself as the most affordable XYZ on the planet, because they're always going to say, you can do it lower, you can do it lower, you can do it lower, and you're going to bite to that. And so if you want to slow death for your business, make price one of the differentiators of your business, because it's got to be something of value. And so often with value, it's all about perceived value. You can add things to your business that don't cost you a penny, but it makes you look more valuable than what that cost is. And so once you figure out what your clients need Give them that value, and that's where it comes in social media and comes into email marketing. Give them value over and over and over and over again. They're not ever going to come to you and say, will you lower your price? Because they're getting so much from you already.
I gotta say, I'm feeling a little bit left out here. I gotta put some headphones on.
Simon's getting the headphones on.
I gotta look the part. Everybody else has got headphones on.
There you go. You looking the part. You're rocking the swag. So guys, I just want to thank you for joining us on our first official Love Your Brand podcast. We are just getting started, so show a little grace. If you happen to get just a tiny nugget of wisdom out of this chaos that we just created, we served our purpose. And we look forward to see you next time at the Love Your Brand podcast.
And we're not
Don't
gonna
forget to like,
we're not gonna post
thumbs
this,
up,
right?
subscribe, hit the button up
Oh
there.
yeah, this is it. This is going live.
Love you guys.
Edited
Peace.
first.
Peace out.
Thanks for listening and joining us on the Love Your Brand podcast. Stay tuned for the next episode, and remember, share the love.